everybody, and welcome back to Survivor Now podcast's off-season Patreon exclusive coverage. My name is Josh, and I'm here hanging out today to revisit Survivor Palau season 10. Definitely one of my favorite seasons. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. With me today is Phil. How's it going, Phil?
It's going great. Excited to get into Palau. I feel like it's such a unique season. You get to, go back and look at Stephanie LaGrossa, which is exciting, and all the others. So stoked.
Yeah, me too. There's so much to get into. Also joining us is Tori. How's it going, Tori?
It's going well, and yeah, I'm also really excited for Palau. It's one of my favorite seasons, and Stephanie's one of my favorite players of all time. I think a lot of people know that already if you've listened to the podcast. So I'm ready to get all into Palau.
Yes, Steph is on part of my application my intro video for being a podcaster was like, who's your all-time favorite? I said Stephanie LaGrossa.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can get more into that as we keep going, but there's a whole lot to talk about here. And then also joining us, special guest today is Survivor, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, celebrity must follow, in my opinion, Steven, or Survivor Quotes X. How's it going?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. And you didn't have to call me a celebrity.
I think as far as Survivor internet spaces go, I think you're a pretty well-known entity.
I'm just trying to do the Lord's work by spreading the gospel of Survivor, and it started as a small hobby, bounding back from a tragic breakup, and here we are. So I'm very excited to join and talk about Palau, which is my favorite season, and any time to talk about Karen is a great time with me. So I'm looking forward to it.
I love it. Steven, could you give everyone, just in case anyone watching or listening may not know about your Survivor accounts, could you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah. I just started posting Survivor quotes after following a Karen Walker account on Twitter from Will and Grace, and it was posting quotes about her. And I was like, well, we should do that with Survivor. And there was really no one doing that at the time. And I was sad and lonely after a breakup. And I was like, hey, let's just build up a Twitter account and have fun. And it kind of just snowballed from there. And it's been so much fun, and branched off into Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram. And it's just been so much fun. And I get so many DMs from people that are just so nice. And it's just a great way to build the community and get along. And I really appreciate you having me. So thank you.
Oh yeah, I remember when we were doing our season rankings over the winter, and you were like following along in the chat. We're like, oh man, we got a celebrity here. I'm excited that you're the other.
I screenshotted that. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm like, let me see what they said.
Yes, no, I remember when you first branched over to Instagram. I was really excited because I was more of a Twitter lurker at the time. I didn't, didn't like have a profile, didn't like post a whole lot. So when you branched to Instagram, and there was something that I could engage with a lot more, I was really excited about that. So yeah. Love your work. Super happy that you're here. And there's a whole lot to get into with this season. So so I guess just getting started, I'd love for each of us to go around and share, like, what is your personal history with Palau? Like, did you watch it live? Did you watch it after the fact? Is this one you've seen a bunch of times? Yeah. Phil, you want to start us off with that?
Yeah, sure. I feel like people give me too much credit sometimes as being a Survivor historian, but what the close watchers really know is that every part of my historian being starts at Tocantins, because prior to Tocantins, I really wasn't watching. I certainly was not watching live, but I don't think that I was taking a close watch at what I was looking at on Survivor. I watched it for the challenges, for the personalities, but there was no part of me that really was getting into strategy, going on Reddit, looking to see what people are talking about. So this is a season that, if I remember correctly, I watched this maybe after high school, waiting to go to college. I just was ripping through Survivor seasons. And again, I just don't think that I placed too much importance on it because it was, in a collection of like, I'm just going to watch all the old school seasons. So this rewatch was awesome for me because it is maybe the closest watch of Palau, certainly the closest watch of Palau I've ever had. And I think I enjoyed it a whole lot more now that I have just a way larger foundation in terms of my Survivor fandom. So I had a great time watching. I really did.
That's awesome. I love that. Tori, how about you?
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit last time, but when I was a little kid, that's when the first season of Survivor came out. I think I was like in fourth grade or going into fourth grade. So I watched the first couple seasons with my family, but then I took like several seasons off. Like I didn't really come back to sort of like these middle, early seasons, I guess, until it was definitely pre-pandemic. I feel like a lot of people started watching Survivor like during the pandemic when you could like binge all the shows. So mine was definitely before that, but I started like rewatching some of the seasons I had already seen, and then I just decided to go in order. And I landed on this season, and I just like fell in love with a lot of the characters, and Stephanie in particular. Like she was one of the first women that really stood out to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this woman is a legend. She's an icon. Like I love her, and I loved Tom as a winner. So it's definitely a season I've come back to a few different times. I think this might have been like my third or fourth time watching this season, and it never gets old for me. So
Yeah,
it was
I
fun.
love. Yes, I agree. It definitely does not get old. Steven, how about you? I know you're a big Palau guy, but yeah, why don't you
Yeah.
tell us?
I started watching Survivor episode 1, season 1. Again with Tori, I was like the same age. I think I was in third grade when season 1 premiered. I watched Palau live when I was in like middle school. Tom is actually a family friend of mine, and yeah, his nephew is one of my best friends. So going into Palau, our whole family, our whole group was so excited. So I kind of watched Palau from his point of view, but it was interesting to see. I was drawn to other people and I kind of felt guilty, like I was cheating on a friendship. Where I was like, I know Tom, I should be rooting for him, but like Stephanie's storyline is just so intense and it
Mm-hmm.
just pulled me in. And when he voted her out, we all gave him so much like backsass for it. But
As you should.
yeah, and I think because of it, the storyline, I love Palau so much. It's probably my most watched season. I've probably have seen it every other year for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Wow.
I've introduced like friends with. I'm not just watching it by myself. I've introduced friends and my wife, and I always tell like the little tidbits that I know from Tom behind the scenes, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's just fun.
So you'll introduce people to the show and have them start with Palau.
It'll be either Pearl Islands or Palau. Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to talk about as we get into this about the when we talk about the seasons like impact and legacy. Because it is unique in a lot of ways. But I got into Survivor kind of at the end of Guatemala and like beginning of Panama was when I was like all in on Survivor. So by the end of Panama rolled around, it was a summertime, and I was like just consuming all Survivor stuff that I could on the internet. And at the time, I think the only seasons available on DVD were Borneo, Outback, and then Pearl Islands through Palau. So I watched it on DVD afterwards, and then I eventually, when I was in high school, I like got it on DVD and like watched it a lot. I think I watched it probably like 3 or 4 times between the time between like 2006 2010 ish. And but this rewatch right now was my first time watching it in like about 15 years. And it's always one that I've liked, but the more time has gone on, the more I have appreciated it for how unique it is. Yeah, I know it's been a top 10 season for me for a long time, and watching it again, like, I don't know, it totally holds up. I'm super excited to get into all of this. So yeah, there's good to know that everybody's personal background and history with it. So the season starts, and we have a couple firsts like right off the bat. It's first season with 20 people. First time that like there's no tribes in the beginning, and people are just kind of figuring it out. First time that there's immunity offered to people like 5 seconds into the game, and we get some really interesting stuff right off the jump. What stands like for any of you guys, like what stands out like immediately like from the beginning of the season?